Tonight, while you sleep, the moon could vanish. No explosion, no warning, just gone. And in just 60 seconds, the chain reaction that follows would change life on Earth forever, in ways far more terrifying than you've ever imagined. In the next few minutes, you will discover 3 disturbing truths. First, why the moon is doing something right now that keeps you alive, and you don't even know it. Second, what happens to Earth's oceans, gravity, and atmosphere in those 60 seconds. And third, the mind-bending scientific reason why, even after the moon returns, Earth would never be the same again. Stay until the end, because the final truth about our moon is something most people will never realize. The moon is more than just a glowing rock in the sky. It's the silent guardian of life on Earth. Every single second, the moon's gravity pulls on our planet, stabilizing Earth's tilt, controlling our tides, slowing our rotation, and shielding us from chaos. Without the moon, Earth would wobble uncontrollably on its axis. Seasons would become unpredictable. Climate would spiral into chaos. But the moon does even more than that. It quietly absorbs asteroids that would otherwise hit Earth. It slows Earth's spin to give us 24-hour days. It creates the ocean tides that help life evolve from the sea. The moon isn't just decoration. It's a life support system. Now imagine, for just 60 seconds, it disappeared. It's 3 a.m. Half the world is asleep. And suddenly the moon is gone. For the first second, nothing seems to happen. The sky just looks darker. Stars appear brighter, without the moon's glow. But within 2 seconds, the most important thing in the universe changes: gravity. The moon's gravity has been pulling on Earth's oceans for billions of years, creating the tides. The moment it disappears, that pull vanishes, and Earth's oceans start to collapse. Massive water bulges that the moon was holding up suddenly drop. Water rushes back toward the equator at incredible speeds. Within 5 seconds, the tides would begin to fail. Coastal water levels would shift unpredictably. By second 10, sensitive instruments around the world would detect a tiny but terrifying change. Earth's rotation would begin to subtly speed up. The moon has been slowing Earth's spin for billions of years. Without it, Earth wants to spin faster. By second 20, animals around the world would sense something is wrong. Nocturnal predators, owls, wolves, big cats, would become disoriented. Sea turtles trying to navigate by moonlight would lose their way. Coral reefs that spawn under full moons would go silent. Migrating birds, fireflies, bats, all of them rely on the moon. All of them would panic. By second 30, the tidal collapse would peak. Trillions of gallons of ocean water, no longer being pulled by the moon, would surge in unpredictable directions. Coastal cities would experience sudden, freak waves. In some places, the ocean would retreat hundreds of meters. In others, it would surge forward in a sudden mini tsunami. By second 45, the atmosphere itself would begin to shift. The moon's gravity also pulls on Earth's air, and without it, atmospheric pressure would start fluctuating across the planet. Sensitive weather systems would begin to destabilize. And then, at exactly second 60, the moon returns. Crisis averted, right? Wrong. Those 60 seconds of missing moon would unleash a chain reaction lasting decades. First, the oceans. When the moon suddenly reappears, its gravity would yank the water back into place. But the water is now in the wrong position. Massive rogue waves would crash across the Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Oceans. Some scientists estimate tsunamis up to 30 meters tall would devastate coastlines globally. Millions would die in the first 24 hours. Earthquakes would be triggered along underwater fault lines from the sudden gravitational snapback. Volcanoes could erupt from disturbed magma chambers. The Earth's rotation, briefly accelerated, would suddenly slow back down, causing microtremors felt worldwide. But the worst damage would be invisible. Earth's axis would have shifted ever so slightly, just a fraction of a degree, and that tiny shift would change the climate forever. Within 5 years, Earth's weather patterns would be permanently disrupted. The jet stream would behave erratically. Hurricanes would form in new locations. Droughts would hit regions that have always been wet. Floods would destroy regions that have always been dry. Crop failures would lead to global food shortages. Millions would face starvation. Climate refugees would number in the hundreds of millions. Ocean ecosystems would collapse. Without consistent tides, intertidal zones where countless species live would die off. Fish populations would crash. Coral reefs would never recover. And the most disturbing realization, if the moon could vanish for 60 seconds, it could vanish forever, and Earth would slowly become uninhabitable. Without the moon stabilizing our axis, Earth would begin to wobble, tilting up to 45 degrees over thousands of years. Ice ages would come every few decades. Summers would reach 80 degrees Celsius. Winters would freeze the equator. Life as we know it would be impossible. But here's what very few people realize. The moon is already moving away from Earth. NASA has confirmed that the moon drifts farther from Earth by 3.8 centimeters every single year. That doesn't sound like much, but over millions of years, it adds up. In about 600 million years, the moon will be too far away to cause total solar eclipses. In a few billion years, its gravitational hold on Earth will weaken so much that our axis will become unstable. We are slowly losing our moon, not in 60 seconds, but in slow motion over cosmic time. And there's nothing we can do to stop it. If this video disturbed you, good. That means you're paying attention. Subscribe to MythicNeuron for more terrifying truths the universe doesn't want you to know. And comment below. If you found out the moon would disappear forever in 10 years, would you tell the world or keep a secret to prevent global panic? Stay curious. Stay afraid, because the moon protecting you tonight won't be there forever.